We want to get right to that breaking news. Jussie Smollett has turned himself into Chicago police.
He is facing that felony charge of filing a false police report.
Police are preparing for a press conference this morning, a bond hearing later this afternoon. Eva Pilgrim is in Chicago with the latest. Good morning, Eva.
Robin, once the victim, now the suspect. This morning at 5:15, Jussie Smollett turned himself in to police.
This morning, Jussie Smollett taken into custody. Police accusing him of filing a false police report, fabricating the racist and homophobic attack he said he suffered at the hands of two men wearing ski masks. The Empire star arrested in Chicago just hours ahead of a bail hearing. The 36-year-old facing a felony charge of disorderly conduct.
It's like, you know, at first it was a thing of like, listen, if I tell the truth, then that's it, because it's the truth. Then it became a thing of like, oh, how can you doubt that? Like, how do you not believe that? It's the truth.
Smollett detailed the alleged brutal attack in an interview with ABC last week.
And I see the attacker masked, and he said, "This MAGA country punches me right in the face." So I punched his ass back. And then we started tussling.
But in newly released surveillance video, these two brothers, who police initially identified as attackers, are seen buying what appear to be a ski mask and red baseball caps. Police say the men, who sat for more than 2 hours for a grand jury yesterday, told them they were paid by Smollett to stage and participate in the alleged attack.
I think Jussie Smollett should come clear because the truth will set him free.
The attorney for the two men speaking out last night outside the courthouse, claiming her clients and Smollett have been in contact at least once since the incident.
I think that Jussie's conscience is probably not letting him sleep right now, so I think he should unload that conscience and just come out and tell the American people what actually happened.
Who the would make something like this up or add something to it or whatever it may be? I can't even, I'm an advocate. You do such a disservice when you lie about things like this.
Overnight, a new statement from Smollett's legal team defending the actor, saying, like any other citizen, Mr. Smollett enjoys the presumption of innocence, particularly when there has been an investigation like this one, where information, both true and false, has been repeatedly leaked. Given these circumstances, we intend to conduct a thorough investigation and to mount an aggressive defense. If convicted, the Class 4 felony could put the 36-year-old behind bars.
And we're told Smollett made a statement to police before being taken into custody. He is expected in bond court this afternoon. Guys.
All right, Eva, thank you. We're going to bring in our chief legal analyst, Dan Abrams, and our senior legal correspondent and analyst, Sunny Hostin. Thank you both for coming in this morning. Dan, it is apparent that the police fully believed the brothers and fully believed that Smollett set this up.
Right, and they must have corroborating evidence. We saw there the video of the brothers buying the mask and the rope, etc. And remember, why you have to ask yourself, why would the brothers implicate themselves in this if they had nothing to do with it, right? So now you're in a position where the only defense I can really think of for Smollett is going to be, yes, they did this to me. I had no idea that they were going to do this to me, and they said these things and I had nothing to do with it. That's why text messages, electronic receipts, anything bringing them together is going to be a problem for them.
And it also appears clear that they've testified in front of the grand jury under penalty of perjury, and that a grand jury has indicted them for these charges.
Well, that's not the only thing that's happened right here. We also know that Smollett's lawyers have been in negotiations with the police and prosecutors as well. So there are other possible outcomes here.
Right. Well, sure. There are. I mean, first of all, we're seeing a different tone from the Smollett team now. Initially, it was, how dare you suggest that he might have made this up? He's a victim here. Now it's talking about the presumption of innocence, which is what we hear with anyone who's charged with a crime. The question's going to be, is there some sort of deal that can be reached? And you first have to ask yourself, are prosecutors going to offer any deal? I mean, that's question one.
And you know, as a former prosecutor, I will tell you that what is very difficult about this case is many hours of you know, were spent in investigating it. And Chicago is this area is a very, very high crime area. And so those police hours could have been spent investigating
what the police
other
are saying
crimes.
right now is that they didn't use resources that would have been used on other homicides, but there are clearly costs involved here, and any settlement would have to involve paying back those costs.
Paying back those costs, and also think about the larger issue here, which is the chilling effect on victims, crime victims coming forward. I spent many, many, many hours trying to get victims of crimes to come forward to testify against their abusers, against their attackers, and they didn't want to come forward because people they thought would not believe them. They thought that there would be repercussions. They thought that there would be consequences. This type of crime, if true, has a tremendous chilling effect.
And that's why the police were so cautious in the beginning. Remember, they kept saying that they were investigating a possible hate crime.
Yes.
They were looking at him as being the victim in this. Now he is the suspect. But guys, this touches all the buttons.
It does.
It's a setback for race relations, homophobia, MAGA supporters who were, the fingers are pointed at them.
Yes.
I mean, I cannot think of another case where there's this anger on so many sides, and you can understand why there would be.
Again, if true, he has almost single-handedly had this chilling effect on the LGBTQ community, on the Black community, on
victims,
the victims, and just there's already this divisiveness that we're seeing in our country. I don't think our country needed this at this time, and I think because of that, prosecutors are going to be taking this very, very seriously. And George, to your point, a deal in this kind of case, this kind of high-profile case, I think may be very difficult to come by.
Yeah, I think that's right. And again, when you watch, I think your interview is going to be evidence in this case.
No
I mean, that sort of locks him in there to a particular account. And when you watch, God, it is so hard to watch that again. Him saying, talking about how anyone who would ever make something up like this, et cetera. And that's what everyone in America is thinking right now. Is exactly what he said right there.
He has said he still said he hadn't done it. The
Yes.
brothers are saying one thing, he's saying another. How do you get through that he said, she said process?
You look for objective evidence. You look for something that is beyond just accounts. You look for texts, emails, e-receipts, videos, surveillance, etc.
That's all assuming a fight, though. I mean, but it is possible. Tell me if I'm wrong here, but it is possible that if in that statement he gave to the police this morning, he comes out, he then confesses and says, I did do this, that could be the path towards more leniency, correct?
Absolutely. If you take responsibility, prosecutors always look very, very kindly on that. I always did.
But that doesn't necessarily mean you get a deal. I mean, it still could mean you're pleading guilty to the crime you were charged with.
And he can't really look to the because the brothers are not getting immunity here, right? The brothers, didn't the police?
There's no indication yet.
There's no indication.
Their
of that.
lawyers saying they don't need immunity, right? Their lawyers saying that there's no concern for them on the legal front. Now, we'll have to see on that, but.
Well, if the only charge against Smollett is that he filed a false police report, if they didn't lie to the police, then they didn't.
Right, but the question is going to be, what did they know about what he was going to do with this?
Exactly.
I mean, and that's going to be the critical legal question.
Co-conspirators as well.
Wow.
I think you're going to talk about this on The View today.
I am pretty sure we are.
Thank you both.
Thank you both. Hi, everyone. George Stephanopoulos here. Thanks for checking out the ABC News YouTube channel. If you'd like to get more videos, show highlights, and watch live event coverage, click on the right over here to subscribe to our channel. And don't forget to download the ABC News app for breaking news alerts. Thanks for watching.